Ghana is suspected to have paid more for the Russian Sputnik vaccines it procured recently, according to an investigation by Norwegian news outlet Verdens Gang. VG's Marcus Tobiasen tells TV3 his work uncovers a web of middlemen and companies which might have taken advantage of a shortage of vaccines around the world to sell some 350,000 vaccines to Ghana, Pakistan and others above the prices the Russians themselves were selling it on the international market.
While the world's richest countries have ordered 3, 4, 5, up to 10 times as many vaccines as they have residents, the world's poorest are at the back of the queue. The WHO describes this situation as a catastrophic moral failure. With this comes the realization a familiar vacuum has been created for exploitation.
Ghana is working hard to make sure that we don't get into situations where the president or government to be forced to do another lockdown.
Norwegian journalists with Verdens Gang, one of Norway's leading news outlets, and the reporter who uncovered Ghana's overpriced payment of its Ameri plant, again says he has uncovered a web of middlemen and companies who suspiciously might have taken advantage of the shortage of vaccines around the world to sell some 350,000 Russian Sputnik vaccines to Ghana at double the price.
The interesting point here is, of course, that Ghana has been buying at an even higher markup from that again, like $19 per dose, which put it at $38 per full vaccine. And then you have to add in the cost of the logistics, like basically movement and storage, which I think the Ghana Health Service estimates at around $3 per dose. So that's puts it at a total of $44 per vaccine.
Marcus Tobiasen documents how intermediaries obtain the Sputnik vaccine and are reselling it at a premium. Through investigations in countries including Ghana, Russia, Pakistan, Guyana and Iraq, he has been able to document how the Russian vaccines have traveled via a sheikh in the Emiratis and around the world and to Africa, Ghana. The Russians sell their Sputnik approximately $10 per dose internationally. But for Ghana and the other countries investigated, the first set of Sputnik vaccines costs $20 per dose and even more in some. The Russians sell their vaccines through their National Investment Fund, and the fund has also apparently set up another company called Human Vaccine LLC.
So that's the story right there. We know that the chairperson of the Health Committee of Parliament, Dr. Uefrie, has dismissed the concerns that Ghana may have paid inflated prices for the Sputnik V vaccines. Joining me on the phone is Dr. Uefrie for a lot more on this. Thank you for joining me here on Midday Live. Now, some have said, for example, in the midst of a vaccine war, the potential of falling for middlemen in the transaction and sale of these vaccines is high. And doing so will mean that countries who rely on these people will pay even more for these vaccines. You are disagreeing with this assertion?
You said, I'm sorry, a very good afternoon to your listeners. You said I'm disagreeing to what assertion?
The assertion that Ghana paid more inflated prices for the vaccines that were procured.
But have you paid anything? Have you done your cross-check?
The understanding is that we are paying some $19
yes, you should do cross-check a little bit on these issues. The minority will always do cross-check on issues. And for me, I've told them in the press earlier on, the accusation is not grounded on sound facts. I mean, they have not paid any amount of money for a vaccine. They said Ghana is working with one person to be able to get Sputnik 5 is not true. As of now, the companies that have agreements or entities that have authorization to import into the country Sputnik 5 are about 7 companies. Various prices were quoted. Some are quoting $12, some are quoting $14, some are quoting $15, some are quoting $18. You see? And the policy of government, or the open door policy is, so long as you can deliver the vaccine. In any case, government was on course. And as I sit there to do the business of government in my committee, government was absolutely on course to get back until the issue that happened in India, and therefore they are consuming more and delaying the schedules of delivery for Ghana. And let me give you as a point of information, AstraZeneca acquisition is strictly government to government. Are you with me?
Right.
AstraZeneca is strictly government to government. They are all in Europe, but the western part of Europe and the eastern part of Europe. Now, Sputnik 5 is from Russia. Moscow is not doing government to government. They are only using middlemen. Please, let's get this clear. It's not your wish as a government to change their rules. They have laid out their rules by their parliament. The Kremlin is saying that they are working with the Russia Development Investment, RDIF. You work with middlemen. You know, in Europe, sometimes there are various diplomacies, the left or the right. So if the other people are doing government to government, they are doing it. And that is the issue at stake. So that is the difficulty for government now. And that is why the prices will vary. Unlike the UK, which is government to government, which you can definitely say that it's strictly going to be a fixed price. That in Russia, you have to use middlemen. And I'm not surprised that if it goes to the Ministry of Health now,
right. So,
they are quoting various prices. Yes, but no LC has affected because all the LCs are on-site. On-site means that you bring it, you check the stock, you check everything, you are okay, by the bank to transact business.
So the Sputnik vaccines that were told that are in the country, where were they procured from exactly?
Where are those vaccines?
Well, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Health, in fact,
the $19 agreement.
The Director General.
In April, they were supposed to have delivered 300,000 doses. In May, 1 million. In June, 1, and they are in breach of contract because as of the agreement was made, you are supposed to deliver 300,000 doses, and they've not delivered even a single vial.
Okay.
But for government, the AstraZeneca is on course and be taken in from India. It's been staggered, it's been delayed. But government is taking it in June. You understand?
Right.
So don't confuse the two things. The government pathway through COVAX is one pathway, and they are rigorously on that pathway. Now, let's come to the private sector, the middle. That is strictly the Sputnik pathway. You get me? Now, of all the 7 entities, none of them have been able to deliver even one vial.
Okay.
However, those who came into the country first about 2 months were those who said, oh, we have it there at $19. The concept of government is that even if you are going to charge me $100, I will pay, so long as the Ghanaian will get a vaccine to be vaccinated. But the point is that you have money and you don't have the vaccine. Is it not an irony that you have somebody's good $18? He came earlier 2 months ago, and subsequently others bought $16 per dose, and now the lower at the ministry is $12 a dose. The minister has given them all letters, all agreements, but look, as I'm saying now, not even a drop of that has come from the Sputnik pathway.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll leave it here. Dr. Ayew Efriye is the chairman of the Health Committee in Parliament there speaking to us. Well, the Ministry of Health said he has taken notice of news making rounds that Ghana bought overpriced Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccines through some middlemen. A statement signed by the head of public affairs, Elom Ametepe, for the Minister for Health, said the ministry will, in the course of time, issue a comprehensive statement on this particular development. The statement therefore asks the public to exercise some restraints. And we know the background is that a Norwegian journalist in an investigative piece has been chronicling how some middlemen were making countries, including Ghana, for sale of some COVID-19 Sputnik vaccines. Ghana is alleged to have bought a dose at $19 instead of $10, but we're just hearing from the chairperson of the Health Committee on Parliament that not even a single vial of a dose has been procured in this respect. In the course of the day, we'll bring you a lot more on this. You're watching